So first of all, what did you guys think of the speech?
It was
We're talking about the Gettysburg thing, right?
You what?
We're talking about the Gettysburg thing, right?
Yeah, the Gettysburg thing.
It seemed like very modern for that time period,
That's
unless that
what
was
I
just
was
me.
thinking. Because I was reading it and I was like, I understand everything this man is saying. Normally when I read Old English, I can't understand a thing.
Which was like hard for the assignments because like pick 5 words you've never heard before.
But I
But
knew all the words. I
yeah.
probably only didn't know what two of them meant.
hmm
And I felt like if I picked literally any other word, then I would just come off as stupid because I don't know, because it looks like I actually don't know what that word means. So, what did you think, Trinity?
it was good. It was a little long.
It wasn't nearly as long as the guy who was supposed to be the main speaker there. His was like 2 hours long.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. Okay. So, did you guys look up any interesting facts about it or see any interesting facts?
No, I didn't see anything.
I saw two interesting facts. One of them was Abraham Lincoln was actually not the keynote speaker. Instead, that honor was given to Edward Everett, and that was the guy whose speech was who's actually has a speech that's 2 hours long. And Lincoln's speech is only 10 sentences long, and the exact wording of his remarks cannot be historically verified. So it could have been. That's probably why we probably think it's so easy to read, because it's probably been manipulated over time. That's what I saw.
Well, I just Googled some facts, and this one's kind of funny. That Abe Lincoln's staffer got drunk the night before, and the atmosphere was sober during the actual, like, the time that was happening. I don't know. So I guess his staff was drunk while he was giving his speech.
He probably had a really bad hangover. What else? What's the next question? Yeah, what really surprised me is we were talking about how modern text sounded, but this was written on this speech was given on November 19th, 1863. So that's really modern for that time. Like even Old English just from the 1920s is completely different from the English that we have now. And there's one question here that says, what is the unfinished work and the task remaining before us to which Lincoln refers? Do you believe the work is complete in modern days or not? I forgot what I wrote.
I think the work he's talking about is like coming, like, obviously, like the states are physically together, but like the people aren't together.
Yeah.
So
What do you think, Trinity?
Yeah, about the same because I don't know. Yeah, just the same, pretty much.
Okay. What I wrote for the unfinished work bit was, I think in their own way, they did finish what they started, for the North at least, not the South, obviously. But I think they finished what they started. However, there's new goals that we're trying to reach nowadays. They were trying to free the slaves, and just try to make them, at least try to make them equal. But obviously that didn't happen. And if they were to time travel to see what it's like nowadays, I think they would be pretty proud and would feel accomplished. But there's obviously there's still some really big issues nowadays. So at that time, I think their work is finished, but there's new work to be done nowadays, if that makes sense.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So we have like new goals and stuff. I think I wrote something else down. I forgot what it was there. No, that's all I wrote. And Lincoln's his speech lasted a mere 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes? Oh my god. That's a little sad. What do you think that your reaction would have been if you were there listening to the speech?
Very moved.
I think I'd be moved too, especially if I was like already on the north side. Obviously, if I was on the south side, I'd be a little pissed, but what about you, Trinity? How would you feel?
Good. Like, it made a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like how it was just really short and simple, and he got down to exactly what he wanted it to come down to. And it was, and for only 2 minutes, he really got his point across. And why do you think this speech has such an impact on people over the past 150 years?
I have an idea, but I can't get the words out.
I kind of feel the same. Like I know how it impacted, but I don't know like how to word it. I think it might be because since he was the president who like officially free, he like officially freed African Americans from slavery, that makes people believe it's like so moving because that's like a huge step, especially back in 1863. So I don't know how to describe it. I guess it's just like people really think it's amazing that the president at that time would give such a speech like this. I dropped a rock on my bed. Nothing happened. It's okay. I don't know. I don't know exactly how to word it, but that's like the best I can come up with.
I agree with you 100%.
Cool. What about you, Trinity?
Yeah, I feel the same way, and I feel like people are still moved by it today
Yeah.
because it was a really big impact on those people.
Mm-hmm.
Big
I would agree
impact.
with that actually, because when I read that, I was moved nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So I can imagine what it was like during that time when this was actually going on.
It's been such a big deal. Like, for me, since I was a kid, I always knew like the intro, like 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've known that since I was like 6. And like, hear like Abe Lincoln, like when I heard Abe Lincoln, that's like the first thing that popped in my head was the Gettysburg Address.
Really?
I'm also a big history buff, so
Oh, probably that might be it. But the 7 years ago, I didn't even say that right. Wait. It's 4 and what? I know it. I don't know. You literally just said it. Okay. 7 years ago. So I got it right. Okay. So I wasn't wrong. I thought I was wrong. That didn't sound right. I thought that confused the heck out of me. I think that was really the only thing that I could understand. That's the only thing that can make me understand that it's actually Old English.
Mhm.
Because no one says that nowadays. And if someone does say that, that's very odd.
Yeah, I was a little confused when I read that part. I was like, okay.
I think it just means 20 years ago, doesn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah. Does anyone have any last information they want to share? I don't really think there's a whole lot to talk about other than the basics because of how short the speech was. But I don't know. There's really not a whole lot to say about it. So no one has any last quotes or anything? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end the recording then.